Welcome to Capital Update. I'm Matt Swenson. This is State Representative Bev Scalze. Welcome, Bev.
Nice to be here, Matt.
Yeah, it's good to have you here in the studio, Representative. And you folks just got off the House floor after finishing the 2010 legislative session. Faced unprecedented economic and fiscal challenges this session, but you folks worked together to balance the budget in a timely manner, and you did it responsibly in a way that protects Minnesota's highest priorities.
Absolutely. We didn't cut education. We didn't cut health care. We did some shifts, have to admit that, but we have done a good job for Minnesota, and we didn't raise anybody's taxes. Mm-hmm. So it's one thing to balance the budget, but it's another thing to balance the budget without a lot of hurt. And I think that that's what we did this year. And we're proud to stand by that, and we passed lots of bills for jobs. Mm-hmm. And this is a jobs year when this terrible economy is causing so much pain for so many people. And we passed bills that will create 50,000 jobs, mm-hmm. 20,000 in the bonding bill, 10,000 in the next jobs bill, and 22,000 with the early medical assistance bill. So we're really excited about what we're trying to do for Minnesota this year.
Mm-hmm. And you also protected nursing homes from any cuts this session. Just really setting super clear priorities on what Minnesotans value. Clearly there were a lot of cuts made this session, which really needs to be pointed out. And over the last 2 years, facing $7.4 billion in deficits, $2.3 billion in state government spending was cut from the budget.
Absolutely. And this year, we thought we were facing a $1 billion deficit, and then when the Supreme Court ruled that the governor couldn't unallot the way he had, all of a sudden we had a $3 billion deficit to mm-hmm. deal with. And lucky for the whole process that we worked really hard early on. Mm-hmm. And all of the other parts of state government, other than education and human services, we cut those budgets severely early on. Public safety, environment, the Environment Committee that I work on, the Finance Committee, we cut close to 7% out of all the budgets. DNR, Board of Water and Soil Resources, Pollution Control Agency. So unfortunately, we may lose a few people. There might be some job cuts in those areas, but it was something that we had to do, and we did that early on. To protect schools and nursing homes. Mm-hmm. That was our focus, is to protect schools and nursing homes.
And I know that this isn't the end of the story, because the recession will have a lagging impact on next year's budget, which is why it was so important that you made lasting long-term solutions this session, because we are looking at another $5.8 billion deficit next session because of the ongoing recession.
Absolutely, and this recession began in 2006, so it's been a national economic downturn that actually started. I think the recession was more like 2007, but the downturn started in 2006, and we've been feeling the effects of it ever since then. And we knew long ago that we had to plan for this day, and we know that it's going to be a bad situation next biennium when we come back in January. And I tell that to all the people that we helped this session, is that we were able to save from the most severe cuts this session, but it's going to be bad next session, and mm-hmm. we will have to cut government even a little bit more, I believe. Some people would like to see tax increases, but if you have $7 billion deficit, there's no taxes that you can raise that will make up $7 billion. Mm-hmm. It's just not enough. For people that are really having a lot of problems, people who've lost their jobs and their homes have been foreclosed. Mm-hmm. It's a terrible time, the worst time since the Great Depression, mm-hmm. that we've gone through economic times like this.
And I want to bring up just another really great highlight of the legislative session, and that was this bipartisan small business caucus that you served on. You folks worked together, Democrats and Republicans. You put forward 8 bills to make business better in Minnesota. 7 of those bills are law in Minnesota because of the work that you've done.
Isn't that great? Mm-hmm. And it was streamlining. We're just trying to streamline the process so that when you go to DEED, Department of Employment and Economic Development, the process is all laid out for you. And just to make it easier for small businesses to begin and also to get some help once they are a small business. And I own and operate a small business myself with my family, so it's something that I can bring a lot of knowledge and background to the table. Mm-hmm. And I kind of surprised everyone in the Health and Human Services Committee because I told them about how the federal health care reform, I got a postcard in the mail from the IRS 2 weeks ago telling me that because of the federal health care reform, there's a tax credit for businesses. Mm-hmm. And if you have a certain number of employees and a certain income level, you can get a tax credit, part of the federal health care reform. And a lot of people don't really realize that, but the small businesses are getting those postcards in the mail. And so it's something that it helps brighten the day a little bit.
Yeah, and that's what we need today here in Minnesota when we're facing such serious challenges. But it's good to know that we have leaders up here who can make the difficult decisions, set the right priorities. So thank you for your work, Representative
Well,
Scalze.
thanks for being there all this session. It's been fun doing these capital updates. I've really enjoyed that and talking to the people in the district.
You bet. Thank you, Representative. Thank you for tuning in at home. We'll see you next time.